going on, guys? JD from New York here, back yet again with your favorite program on YouTube during your weekends. WWE Week in Review News and Rumors for your week ending January 26th, 2014. It is Royal Rumble weekend. Everyone's favorite pay-per-view in the calendar year. The most exciting time of the year is about to begin. We are on that road to WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania season will begin officially Sunday in Pittsburgh at the Royal Rumble. Now, this week, guys, what I did is talk about that very same event, the Royal Rumble, in WWE Behind the Mic, episode number 2. If you guys missed that, I sat down and went over the entire card, my preview and predictions for that show. If you guys missed that episode, which I know most of you probably did because YouTube sucks cock with the fucking sub boxes, I know. But if you guys missed that, listen, link is down below. Go grab yourself some cold beverages, watch this one, and then watch that one, and you guys got 1 hour full of your WWE needs. You guys got 1 hour of getting ready for the Royal Rumble. That's it. I got you covered. No worries here. JD has got you covered. But this week, I got news and rumors. I got so much news that I don't even know what to do with it. I got news on Kurt Angle. I got news on Sting. I got news on The Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan, just to name the biggest few. So sit back, grab that cold beverage. Let's talk some WWE. Let's get into it, guys. And like always, fuck those other guys. Fuck those other guys. Okay? This right here is your #1 source for all your WWE needs right here on YouTube.com. Now, we are going to start off if my computer fucking stops acting gay. Okay, here we go. Alright. It is being reported heavily this week by various outlets that WWE is finally going to sign Sting. Okay? The legend Sting is expected by many within WWE to finally sign a contract with the company and work for Vince for the first time in his career. While Sting may not have officially signed a contract yet, the talk within WWE right now, as of right now, according to reports by Dave Meltzer, the biggest name in news and rumors that you could possibly come to, okay? Dave Meltzer said that there's no contract yet, but the talk within WWE is said to be stronger at this point than it has ever been in the past. Will Sting be at WrestleMania 30? I don't know. But this is what the article or report says. While the contract itself may not have been signed, it is something that has been talked about for months. Sting in WWE is stronger than ever, to the point where concepts being used right now within WWE Creative, they're coming up with storyline ideas for his arrival. To the term, a man called Sting. The name, the phrase, a man called Sting. Those names and phrases right now are in discussion in WWE Creative meetings. I don't know what this means. I don't know. I'm not going to jump into the story any more than what I just read to you. I'm not. I officially want Sting in the WWE. That's no secret. You know, it may be a little bit too late. He's 54, 55 years old. Whatever. He may give us one good last final run. And that's it. And then go into the Hall of Fame. But if he's going to be in the WWE, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. It's going to happen before WrestleMania. It's going to happen at WrestleMania. I don't know. The WWE, I don't know what the fuck they're doing right now for WrestleMania. As I get into the show, you'll see that, you know, the things that I read this week, the things that I uncovered, just don't make fucking sense. I don't know where WWE's head is at right now. This is the one thing that's on their plate. This is the one thing that needs to happen. I talked about this a few weeks back. I talked about Sting possibly finally coming to the WWE. He just lost his contract on TNA this past Thursday to Magnus. He lost a shot at the world title. I don't know what's going on, but if it does happen, why not have him at WrestleMania? It only makes sense. As soon as the story breaks, any more news on that, I will definitely cover it here on News and Rumors. Now, this right here, this is what I'm going to read to you is all blockbuster news, so sit tight. It is still unknown if Sheamus is scheduled to make his return at Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view, but we now know he is returning soon because he is penciled into one of the top 5 matches at WrestleMania 30. Now, what I'm about to read you, I just don't understand why WWE is going this route. I don't understand it, and I want to choke someone for the fucking simple fact that this is fucking bullshit. If it's true. I don't know if it's true or not, but let's find out. Current plans as of today, January 24th, have Sheamus facing Daniel Bryan in a singles match at WrestleMania. If this is the case, it will be the 3rd WrestleMania match between the two. They faced in a lumberjack dark match resulting in a no contest at WrestleMania 27, and Sheamus defeated Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28. Plans can always change 6 weeks out, but word as of today is that Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan is pretty much set in stone. Thumbs down, people. Thumbs down. Not something I want to see for a 3rd time. I didn't want to see it the 1st time. I didn't want to see it the 2nd time. And I certainly don't want to see it a 3rd time. Excuse me. That's a Raw match. That's something that could be fucking delegated to Monday Night Raw. That could be a fucking SummerSlam match for the world title. I don't give a fuck. This is a mistake. And I'm not going to go into it anymore. We'll find out what's going to be at Sunday. Because if Daniel Bryan is not in the Royal Rumble, if Daniel Bryan doesn't win the Royal Rumble, the show is shot. Expect a shit show of a review on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. But take this with a grain of salt. Things can change in the WWE, according to this report, which I found on SCScoops.com, which, I mean, I don't believe this for a fucking second. The WWE can't be this fucking stupid. I mean, they just cannot be this fucking stupid. The report says Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan is pretty much set in stone. That's what it says. I don't believe that for a second. It just doesn't make sense. What does Daniel Bryan need to fight Sheamus again for? Why? 2 times wasn't enough? 18 seconds wasn't enough? The 18-second screw job that Daniel Bryan suffered at WrestleMania 28 is pretty much what catapulted him. You know, it was the stepping stone for his fucking his run right now. His popularity right now. They don't need that match anymore. I certainly don't want to see it at WrestleMania 28. I just don't. Put Sheamus against Batista. Put Sheamus against fucking Wade Barrett. Something. He doesn't need to be in a big program. He's been out. Okay? He's been out for all these months. You got all these fucking big names, huge names coming in. Sheamus right now, just like the rest of the roster, you gotta take your fucking paycheck, shut your mouth, step to the side, and let Vince make his money off the old guys for this last year. You're not going to see Hogan anymore after this year. You're not going to see Ultimate Warrior after this year. You're not going to see Brock Lesnar's got 2 years left in his contract. Batista's only there for 2 years. You know? Give the show to Daniel Bryan, man. You got all these fucking huge names coming in there that are part-timers. Meanwhile, you got Daniel Bryan who's been working his ass off, and you're not going to give him the spotlight match at WrestleMania? I don't understand that. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan's a mistake. Hopefully, it is just a rumor. I don't want to rant and rave. We'll find out what happens on Sunday at the Royal Rumble. If Daniel Bryan doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I'm telling you right now, you're going to fucking hear a ton of complaints from me. I'm telling you right now. As of this past Friday, Undertaker, WrestleMania 30, his match was said to be also set in stone, likely against Brock Lesnar. Old news there. I've been hearing John Cena, I've been hearing Sting, I've been hearing this, I've been hearing that, Daniel Bryan. Undertaker's requesting to work with Daniel Bryan. According to the reports, Daniel Bryan, again with Sheamus, Undertaker right now set in stone as always against Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's been one of those names that's just been constant when you mention the Undertaker in WrestleMania. So it looks like that match more than likely will happen. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens at the Royal Rumble. We'll know all the answers after Sunday. That's it. We'll know all the answers after Sunday. Now, this is an interesting one. There has been talk that the Ultimate Warrior may be working one more match as part of his new deal with WWE. Word being talked about backstage is that the Ultimate Warrior versus Ryback likely could happen at WrestleMania 30. As noted, It is believed the deal with Goldberg is pretty much dead because of money issues. Listen, to be quite honest with you, I much rather see the Ultimate Warrior versus Ryback. Because, listen, Goldberg can give you 15 to 20 minutes if need be. Ryback cannot. I don't see Goldberg and Ryback working well because they both got fucking egos, and just something would go wrong in the middle of that match. You know, I don't see Goldberg laying down for Ryback. I don't see Ryback, treating Goldberg with respect. It's one of those things where I just think is going to get, a little bit messy. And Goldberg, I think, deserves much better than Ryback if he was to come back. But if you got the Ultimate Warrior looking to have one more match at WrestleMania, why not go against Ryback? You got the Ultimate Warrior, who's a fucking crazed lunatic anyway. You know, Jim Hellwig. You got Ryback, who's playing this fucking schizophrenic, psychopathic character now. I think that would actually do well. The match doesn't have to be more than 5-10 minutes. It could be one of them fucking showcase matches, a spectacle match, old school versus new school. Warrior versus Ryback at WrestleMania 30 sounds like a great idea. I think I'm in favor of that. So hopefully we'll see something materialize out of that. But according to the reports that I read today, Warrior versus Ryback likely at WrestleMania 30. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you want to see Jim Hellwig, Ultimate Warrior, back in the ring at WrestleMania 30 one more time, because as of right now, Hogan, I got news on him, looks like he's not getting back in the ring, but Ultimate Warrior looks like he's good to go. You know, he's been wrestling in various independent, promotions here and there, with his time away from WWE. He looks to be in decent shape. Ryback is in good shape. Ryback and Warrior, I think, can gel pretty well. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a name that's always brought up in questions. JD, what's Kurt Angle's status? JD wants Kurt Angle coming back to the WWE. I finally got news on Kurt Angle for you guys. Okay? The belief within WWE right now is that Kurt Angle will be returning to the WWE once his TNA deal is up, but it's very unlikely he will be able to pass the company physical. Now, I didn't know Kurt Angle was that fucked up to the point where he can't pass the physical. But Angle could end up as a trainer for NXT. That's a good role for him. Obviously, if Ryback, not Ryback, I got Ryback versus Warrior still on my mind. Obviously, if Kurt Angle is still ready to go, if Kurt Angle still could go, one more match, retire at WrestleMania. He's in his 40s. He's banged the fuck up. It's the reason why he went to TNA in the first place, because they had a lighter schedule. He works two or three days a month. They tape their shows in advance. He gets to relax. And then whenever they go on house shows, he does what he does there. He's not overworking himself. He's not stressing himself out, on a monthly basis. Whereas the WWE, they travel 320 days a year. He would put so much fucking pressure on his body to just live up to the WWE expectation, work on a nightly basis with barely any time off. Kurt Angle may not even be alive right now if he was still in WWE. Between the drugs he was doing to keep himself pain-free and this and that. This is the reason why he went to TNA. TNA saved his career. TNA saved his life. So, Kurt Angle back in WWE, I would love to happen. He was one of my favorites. Kurt Angle, I do want to see retire one more match at WrestleMania. I don't know if that's going to happen, but according to the reports that I read today, his deal is almost up. I believe it's this summer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I got to look into that, but according to the reports, that it's unlikely he will pass the company physical at WWE. I hope that's wrong, but I do want to see him in the ring one more time. But do expect. I don't know when it's going to happen, but do expect Kurt Angle back in the WWE. WWE announced that Payback will be returning and will be held in Chicago, Illinois for a second consecutive year. The Allstate Arena will hold the event on June 1st, 2014. This was the event in which CM Punk returned after his brief break at WrestleMania 29. PWInsider.com is reporting that CM Punk's latest contract is set to expire in July, and that WWE plans on getting everything out of him in case he decides to not renew his contract. CM Punk has been very vocal over the years, talking about how he wants to walk away from the WWE on his own terms and not be forced out due to injury. With the current storyline with Punk and the Authority, one could assume that this angle may continue into the summer, potentially something similar to the summer of Punk 2011. If CM Punk does not sign a new contract, WWE Payback could be the last pay-per-view for the former WWE Champion. Don't like the sounds of that. I don't like the sounds of that at all. And you know Punk is very vocal. Punk is very... He's like me. He wears his heart on his sleeve. If something's bothering him, he's going to speak up. And that's what I like about CM Punk. That's what I respect most about CM Punk. But CM Punk, to be honest with you, his 434 days as champion were impressive. Just for the simple fact that he held the title so long. It wasn't the greatest title reign of all time. You know, and especially I didn't like the way he lost that reign to The Rock, who's a part-timer. Lost to a fucking people's elbow at the Royal Rumble. I just don't like that. You know, or when was it? Elimination Chamber, whatever. I don't fucking remember. That's how fucking terrible it was. I don't even remember what happened because The Rock had something to do with it. I don't care. You know, it's something that is so forgettable that I don't even care. But CM Punk, one of the best wrestlers in the world. CM Punk, one of the top names on the WWE roster, and has been for the last 4 years. Okay? CM Punk could easily be the face of the WWE if they wanted him to. But CM Punk right now is kind of in limbo. They don't know what to do with CM Punk. And especially now with a match against Triple H at WrestleMania, I don't see that being CM Punk's defining WrestleMania moment. You know, CM Punk deserves so much more in WrestleMania, in the WWE, especially in WrestleMania 30. He deserves so much more, you know, at WrestleMania, that I don't see that being a WrestleMania moment for him. You know, he'll have victories over Randy Orton, John Cena. It's just, and now Triple H. I mean, how do you go from challenging the streak? You know, listen to me. How do you go from challenging the streak and the Undertaker at last year's WrestleMania, and then the next following year you go fight the COO, Triple H? Like, to me, that's a downgrade. You know? He goes from fighting the streak and losing in a valiant effort to fighting the COO? I mean, what kind of WrestleMania moment is that for CM Punk? To me, it's fucking boring. I don't want to see it. I mean, it may be a decent match. It's CM Punk. Obviously, he'll bring Triple H to a decent match. But it's not something that I could see myself invested in, you know, for 6 weeks. I just can't see it. But if Vince McMahon has any respect for CM Punk, you know, they got Batista back now, you know. If CM Punk wanted to take the time off, let him recuperate, get himself better. Let him take 6 months off. Let him take a year off. Bring him back for next year's WrestleMania, which I think is in Dallas. I'm not sure. I don't know if WrestleMania 31 or WrestleMania 32 is in Dallas. I think 31 is in Dallas, and then 32 is in California. I have to do some research on that. I'm not sure. If somebody knows, correct me. But have him sit out for the whole year. Rest. Do what he wants. Go on vacation. Get himself better. Bring him back for WrestleMania in Dallas and set up Austin versus Punk. That's what CM Punk wants. That's going to be CM Punk's WrestleMania moment. If you're not going to have him win the WWE Championship, if you're not going to have him in a title match, if you're going to have him floating around the mid-card, fighting the Shield and the Wyatts and this one and that one, you know, that's not a WrestleMania moment for CM Punk. Bring him back against Austin. Have him take the year off. Let him be. Let him come back fully recuperated, healthy, refreshed, and ready to go. You know? Our WrestleMania moment easily this year could have been Punk versus Bryan, but the WWE is too fucking retarded to want something like that. They're too fucking retarded to give fans that kind of match at WrestleMania. That match would absolutely tear the fucking building down in New Orleans, but apparently WWE doesn't see that. So, Punk, his contract is up. You know, the reports have been right. Summer of Punk, more than likely is going to happen this year. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully, Punk decides to sign a new contract. Hopefully, WWE gives him the time off, because I know he's hurt. I know he's hurting. And I do not want to lose CM Punk because he is visibly upset about his direction in WWE. He's visibly upset about the direction of the company in general. I don't want him to be fucking unhealthy and hurt, you know, and not giving us his best. WWE's got to treat this the right way. They need to treat CM Punk with care, because he's a fucking time bomb waiting to happen. If you don't make him happy, he's gone. That's just what I see from CM Punk. After watching his documentary, you kind of get a feeling you know CM Punk and how he's going to work and how he thinks. Okay, excellent documentary. If you guys missed it, I would highly advise you find it on Netflix or you go out and buy it. I have it on DVD, but this is a very interesting story. I'll keep up to date on this. Hopefully CM Punk is back in WWE and signs a new contract. I don't want to see CM Punk go. Okay? As you can imagine, Batista is expected to be pushed heavily in upcoming WWE storylines. No shit. As of last word, the planned Randy Orton vs. Batista match at WrestleMania 30 was still a go. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer, there were plans in place to have Batista win the Royal Rumble match this Sunday to set up that match, but plans are always changing, and it almost seems too obvious. You know, it's funny that Dave Meltzer mentioned this in his report, that Batista winning the Royal Rumble is almost too obvious. And that is the case. It's too obvious. It's too predictable. If it does happen, it's going to be the most predictable Royal Rumble ever. Ever. Okay? Despite this has been planned for months, and the fact that they have had the two face-to-face confrontations on Raw the past week seems to indicate that this is still the plan. I hope not. I don't want to see it. And you guys know what I think. If you guys watch Behind the Mic, number 2, link is in the description down below. You guys know what I want for WrestleMania. You guys know what I want at the end of the Royal Rumble. So go and watch that. Interesting story on Hulk Hogan. All creative plans for Hulk Hogan's WWE return are said to be finalized. It is unknown when WWE will bring back Hogan to TV, but it also seems likely that the WWE could use Hogan to make his final hard sell, or as a final hard sell, for the WWE Network, which launches February 24th. Also regarding Hogan's return, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer, Hulk Hogan was recently examined by WWE doctors, and the company has made the decision to not book him in a match at WrestleMania, and furthermore, not to book Hogan to get physical in any way at the pay-per-view. Instead, WWE will go ahead with the plan of Hogan making some type of non-wrestling appearance, although it has yet to be determined what Hulk Hogan will do. Additionally, there is talks that WWE, or within WWE, that the company may debut Hogan along with several other big names at the WWE Monday Night Raw show following the Elimination Chamber. The 2/24 Raw, the night after Elimination Chamber, and the night that the WWE Network officially launches. Well, there you have it, folks. Hulk Hogan is not going to be at WrestleMania in a wrestling capacity. Okay, so you don't have to worry about seeing Hogan versus Piper, Hogan versus Cena, Hogan in a tag match with Cena and Bryan versus the Wyatt family. All these fucking ludicrous ideas that were being thrown out over the past week. I'm just here to give you rumors. I'm here to give you opinions on those rumors. Don't take me seriously. If something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But Hulk Hogan, it's gonna be great to see Hogan back on TV. It's gonna be great to see Hogan at WrestleMania. It's gonna be great to see Hogan, there as the network is launched, because he's been such a vital part to the company. But I can't say that I'm visibly or upset in any way that Hogan's not going to be wrestling. It may be for the best that he's not wrestling. WrestleMania needs to be about wrestling, and Hogan really, I can't see him having a fucking 5-star match at WrestleMania. It's going to be great to see him on TV. It's going to be great to see how they use him. It's going to be interesting to see how they use him, but it's going to be great nonetheless to see him on TV, getting involved in the storylines in WrestleMania. How they're going to use him is going to be interesting, so I can't wait for that to actually happen. But it's said right now, according to Dave Meltzer, Hogan, no go, not wrestling at WrestleMania. You guys don't have anything to worry about regarding that. Now, I have also reported, and it's also been reported by various outlets, of ideas surrounding Bill Goldberg's WWE deal. It's dead. Okay, money issues right now are too far apart. Not going to happen. Goldberg is not going to be at WrestleMania 30. The latest word on that, Goldberg and WWE were very, very far apart on money. In recent months, there was a hang-up over creative decisions surrounding his return, and the two sides were believed to be within reason on money. However, word now is that Goldberg budged on his price, and then the WWE after that just did not agree. He upped his asking price for a return. Obviously, Goldberg wants this. That's all he cares about. Okay? While things were initially looking good from a monetary perspective, they're now being described as very far apart once again. To go with this story, it is said Goldberg has very little interest in a match against Roman Reigns. Goldberg is believed to have other opportunities on the table, and at this point, a deal for him to work WrestleMania does not look like it's going to happen. Now, Goldberg versus Roman Reigns could have been a great match for the undercard. He's just not interested in it. But right now, according to the reports, Goldberg is done as far as WrestleMania goes, so get him out of your mind. It's not going to happen. Goldberg will not be at WrestleMania 30 against Roman Reigns, against Ryback, against anybody. So maybe we have next year to look forward to for Bill Goldberg. I don't even know if he's actually going to come back to the WWE at all after this. Because if he upped his asking price on money, WWE really is kind of stingy with that. I mean, there were reports going around that they don't want to pay The Undertaker, they don't want to pay Austin, they don't want to pay this one, they don't want to pay that one. But listen, I mean, if you want to make WrestleMania 30 great, spectacular, the biggest show ever, obviously you're going to have to shell out some cash. To make money, you got to spend money. If Goldberg was asking whatever, I would have gave it to him. You know? I would have gave it to him. But right now, Goldberg is not going to be working WrestleMania. Alright, Daniel Bryan. More news on Daniel Bryan. I got a lot more news for you guys. So sit back, grab another beverage if you're empty. I got news on Daniel Bryan. I got news on the Outlaws. I got more news on WrestleMania. So sit tight. Don't go nowhere. Regarding Daniel Bryan's concussion on Raw a few weeks back, the feeling is that he is still that it's still pretty serious. I doubt it. This is what the report is saying. As noted, he was kept off this weekend's live events and was home resting. Bryan managed to get through the match a few weeks back without missing any spots in the steel cage. However, at the end of the show, when he was on top of the cage leading the yes chants right before the show ended, Bryan suddenly stopped and sat there, looking around as if he was unsure. A WWE stagehand laid on the ground, looked up at him, and started gesturing for him to keep chanting. Bryan just looked at the guy, seemingly completely confused. Bryan later told WWE officials that he barely remembered anything that happened in the cage. Word going around this weekend is that Bryan's planned Royal Rumble match against Bray Wyatt is off. This was before it was announced, so don't take this seriously. Bryan versus Wyatt is happening at the Royal Rumble. Backstage, Bryan's big moment was a very, very hot topic amongst his peers. A source noted the whole backstage in WWE was in awe. Vince McMahon absolutely loves Daniel Bryan. Does he love Daniel Bryan enough to win the Royal Rumble? Does he love Daniel Bryan enough to put him in the main event at WrestleMania? Does he love Daniel Bryan enough to make him the face of the WWE and finally capture the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in the main event at that show to close that show with 80,000 people chanting yes? I don't know. Says Vince loves Daniel Bryan. Hey Vince, show me how much you love Daniel Bryan. Make it happen. It was recently reported that there was a feeling in the WWE that many of the Divas has stepped it up in recent months and are improving. I don't see no improvement. I don't know what the fuck the report's talking about. I see zero improvement in the WWE Divas. WWE officials held a meeting with Finlay, the Divas agent, and the Divas roster at the Raw in Dayton, Ohio last week before the show began. The meeting was described as a very positive one. The Divas were praised for how much improvement they have made and how much better their competition has been. WWE officials are thrilled with how seriously the Divas take their work and with how they are always training to get better. Specific Divas were put over for their work included Brie Bella, AJ Lee, and Natalya for always making others better and constantly getting better themselves. 3 Divas do not make a division, okay? I do see Naomi getting a little bit better in the ring. One of the Funkadactyls. She's getting a little bit better in the ring. She's actually very pleasant to watch in the ring. AJ's always great. Natalya's always great. Brie is getting better. I could admit that. But the rest of the roster, you can't build your roster around 4 Divas. You just can't do it. Okay? The remaining Divas are fucking absolutely worthless. They're nothing but eye candy, and they do nothing. Okay? Obviously, you're working with the Divas more heavily down in NXT. Build them up, groom them, bring them up to the main roster, and then you got a Divas division. Go out and sign Madison Rayne, go out and sign Velvet Sky, go out and sign Karma, bring them back, there you got your Divas division. Just hand me a fucking checkbook, put me on the creative team, and I'll tell you what to fucking do. Okay? I just solved your fucking problem. That's all you gotta do. But no, they don't want to go out and sign any ex-TNA talent. Whatever. I just saved your fucking Divas division right there. I've noted before about the New Age Outlaws that they are expected to be regulars on WWE TV for the next couple of months. They are being given another run because of how well they are received in their current run, or the past run, they were very well received, so they brought them back to TV. And WWE officials figured that they could utilize them to make up for their lack of heels on the roster. The only thing I don't like about the Outlaws being back and the Outlaws being heels, it kind of off-balances the faces and heels in the tag team division. There's more heels now than there are faces. Okay, you only got two face teams. You got the Usos, and then you got the Rhodes Brothers. Every other team in the tag team division is a heel. Wyatt, Shield. You got the Primetime Players who are faces, but you really haven't seen them on TV lately. You got the Wyatts, the Shield. You got Cesaro and Jack Swagger. You're putting together teams like Big Show and Rey Mysterio, but they're not real tag teams, though. So it kind of all balances things. But it's great to see the Outlaws back. They can still go. It looks like they got another year, another 2 years left in them. You know, it's great to see them on TV. I've mentioned this before. I do expect them to hold the tag team titles between now and WrestleMania. I don't know when that's going to be, but if you guys again missed my preview and predictions for the Royal Rumble behind the mic, I talk about the new Age Outlaws versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust at the Royal Rumble and what I think. Go check that out. Link below. RVD news here. RVD is reportedly hoping to get a new contract with WWE finalized in time for WrestleMania 30 season. While RVD wasn't super happy with his last run, he has plenty left in the tank and knows it is best that if he can work out a deal before Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Vince McMahon is a big fan of RVD, which makes things a lot easier. I do expect RVD to be back in the Royal Rumble on Sunday as one of the mystery opponents in the 30-man match. TNA is looking to bring in more fresh faces to build up their roster, as seen last week with the American Wolves. One name drawing interest is Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno of NXT. But word is that so far the interest hasn't been mutual. It is said that Hero really hopes to return to the WWE one day and feels that any deal with TNA could hinder those aspirations, despite comments he made in interviews about possibly going to TNA. According to various sources, TNA would pay Hero more than their standard lower-level contract and see him as a guy like Ethan Carter III that they could quickly turn into a key player. Okay, Cassius Ohno, Chris Hero, whatever you want to call him, do not go to TNA. You fucked up already with Triple H once. If you have any desire, if you have any aspirations to go back to the WWE and be on their roster again, do not go with TNA. The report says he doesn't want to go to TNA for that reason. Keep it that way. Work the independent scene. Try and get in good graces with somebody back in WWE. You might find yourself back there. You know, he would have been a great fucking fit for the Shield. If they're losing Roman Reigns, if they're going to turn Roman Reigns face, Cassius Ohno could have fit right in with the Shield. I don't understand it, but listen, Triple H let him go. Another fucking failure by Triple H. Chris Hero, do not go to TNA if you know what's good for you. I do agree with that article. Do not go to TNA because it will definitely ruin his chances on getting back within the WWE because Vince doesn't want any TNA people. Okay, unless you're Sting. But we'll see what happens with that. In the latest issue of WWE Magazine, the Bella Twins said that they have been pushing WWE to introduce Diva Tag Team titles for the last few years. Nikki Bella stated, "We are so talented and creative, and it would be a great way to show that within the company." No, you don't need Diva Tag Team titles. You have barely any use for the Diva title right now. You know, you're going to have Diva Tag Team titles? No. Sorry, not happening. Bad mistake. WWE officials are hoping to get 75,000 fans chanting yes at WrestleMania 30. The previous big idea revolving around WrestleMania 30 was to have the crowd do a Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara match with everyone wearing lucha masks in the arena, but that idea was nixed. But listen, this was an idea, you know, that's been thrown around in WWE. If you want to get 75,000 fans chanting yes, put Daniel Bryan in the fucking main event, have him win the WWE Championship. Problem solved. Again, I just booked your WrestleMania moment that you want to have happen. Give me a fucking contract, will you? And finally, despite MVP Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, denying rumors of a TNA debut, talks between two sides have gotten very serious. A few TNA guys, MVP looks like he's headed to TNA. There was even talks within the last day or two that he could possibly be appearing at the upcoming TNA Impact tapings in the UK. As of now, he's correct in that no deal has been signed, but talks are ongoing and have become very serious at this stage. I don't care about TNA. I don't care about MVP. You know, he could have been another surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, but whatever. If he's in the Royal Rumble, he's in the Royal Rumble. It's not going to fucking deter me from, from watching the Royal Rumble. If he goes to TNA, it's no big loss. Whatever. TNA's trying to just stay afloat right now. You know, they don't want to pay AJ Styles, but they want to go out and sign the American Wolves and Cassius Ohno and MVP. I don't know who the fuck's running TNA back there, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing, clearly. Whatever. MVP is on his way to TNA. Big deal. That's what I think about that. But that is your news and rumors, guys. Holy shit, that was a lot of news this week. 34 minutes, going on 35 minutes this week. If you enjoyed this week's show, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave me your thoughts on Sting, Kurt Angle, Hogan, Ultimate Warrior vs. Ryback, Goldberg not being at WrestleMania. Let me know what you think about Hogan not wrestling at WrestleMania. Let me know what you think of Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. Really? No. Vince, please. Vince, please, I beg of you. I beg of you. I just fucking hit my table. I beg of you. No, I don't want Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. All right? Let me know what you guys think of everything, all the top stories this week. And I will see you on Sunday night following the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Keep your eyes on this channel, Royal Rumble review following the pay-per-view immediately as it goes off the air. That thing will be up by midnight. All right, guys, I'll talk to you then. Take care, and I'll see you after the Royal Rumble.